Ignite is an ongoing series of speedy presentations. Each speaker gets only 5 minutes and 20 slides that auto-advance every 15 seconds.
Our next speaker, again, international, divides his time between Zurich and Ghana. Yeah. Huh? We're all over the world tonight. Divides his time between Zurich and Ghana, and there he's a visiting lecturer at the African Institute of Mathematical Science. And he also happens to love to cook and eat, which I will ask him about after the speech. So we please welcome to the stage with Of Goats and Men, Alessandro Crimi.
So since a few years I've been doing some projects in the Southern Hemisphere that allow me to realize that we tend to have some kind of bias over some countries, and I've seen a lot of goats, and I will tell you why I put these two things together. So we tend to have some superiority approach towards some countries sometimes without we ever been there. And this is more pronounced toward Africa, but also noticed to Sicily, Greece, Poland, or whatever. Instead, today I will show you that some of these biases are not necessarily true. Two, that instead, if you want to do something in developing country, you have to be as much as professional as possible, because it's a profession like anybody else, any other else. But first of all, you should check your own motivation, why you're doing that. And in the end, I will give you also some tips. Following my reason, I will tell you my story. So I used to be a researcher, but I found academia boring until I ended up in Ghana, exactly, where I was literally going to the class to teach with the sand in my feet. And it was awesome. But since I got bored very easily, and also I've seen a couple of things that I didn't like it, I took another degree and I started doing some projects with some organization and also on my own with small grants. One of these was the prenatal care project still in rural areas in Ghana, where we were using portable ultrasound, and also, and now we extended it with doing some testing for diabetes, and some mobile phone given to the lady. Then was something else related to check malaria management in Ebola-affected areas, where, of course, we could not use the standard blood test sample for malaria, because otherwise we were spreading even more Ebola. And another thing I did was an information system to Syrian refugees, women, to travel across Europe. But I'm not going to talk about these things. This is just for telling you where I've been, because wherever I've been, there's always one thing with me, and they were goats. So these guys, they were outside the university. This was my neighbor. I met him even a year later. And these guys was outside this high school where we went with my student to talk about the younger students. And I found it sweet. So they were like cats and dogs. When I came back the first time to Switzerland, I told this to a friend, and he replied, "Do you know why there are no goats in Switzerland? Because the separation between animals and humans, it's a sign of development. There is pets and us, and the animals." But are you sure? So looking overall at the African countries, they are having an increase of GDPs even faster than the Asian one. And if you look, Rwanda has a work gender gap similar to Scandinavia, with Switzerland is probably down here. And they have goats. Apart this kind of bias I noticed, there was also this thing that many people working in development, they think that random charity and sending foreign aids is good, while instead there are theories, a lot of economic theory that proves that's the opposite. They are doing more damage. Of course, there are other people claiming that you need a minimum boost to help this country to be self-sufficient, but probably the truth is in between. But this is another long story that I made another talk another time. Instead, another time that I came back with to my goats, another person told me that instead I was acting superior toward these people because I know how to behave with them. And this was like a shock to me. Like, after all this year, you tell me I'm the wrong guy. And I think this person was wrong, because I do these things because I like them and I'm good at it. But he gave me a lot of thoughts that I still have even these days. And of course, and I'm not even sure about my own motivation or the motivation of other people I've seen. Anyway, in general, as a general advice, if you want to do something in this field, I recommend you to think if you're doing it for your to improve your ego, your conscience, your CV, or to make a talk at Ignite, or if you're really helping these people. So summarizing, check that the people you want to help actually they really need your help. That if you're doing these things, you have to be as much as professional as possible, and that you're not doing it on your own interest. If you don't know from where to start, there are some events during the summer for students in high school to push them to go to scientific faculties like math, computer science, or physics. Or there is a very growing community of startups I've noticed. So this is a good place where you want to start your company or work for one of these companies. And there is even Impact Hub Accra, I've seen, and in Kigali, and other opportunities that I can tell you. So if you are interested in these last two things, these are my contacts, and I leave you with another goat I've seen in Ghana. Thank you.